Logan Bartley's gonna love this one. All right, so the other day at work, right, I looked out the window and I see these streaks across the sky like this, right? Look at that one right there. I'll come back to that one. It's got like knobs on it. It's knobby, right? Anyway, and I just like tongue-in-cheek, I said to my colleagues, I'm like, hey, check out all those chemtrails. Well, some of my colleagues never heard of a chemtrail. They heard of contrails. Everybody's heard of a contrail, but nobody heard of a chemtrail. Some people are not into conspiracies like I am. So I said this to my colleagues. Okay, now look at this over here. Very faint, right? Extremely faint. All right, so I said this, and we got into a little discussion. People were like, ah, whatever. I mean, nobody really took it seriously, and I didn't really take it seriously because, like I said, I was saying it tongue-in-cheek, you know? I don't get me wrong. I don't disbelieve, but I also don't believe. I mean, I haven't really looked into it, but I've seen some videos that are like, wow. Like, you know, there was absolutely positively no way in where that was moisture coming off the tips of the wings. You know, no way. I mean, the trail of vapor that this plane was, that I saw in this video, the trail of vapor that this plane was leaving behind was clearly being pumped out of the plane, and it was like, even as it left the plane, it was like 3 times wider than the plane itself, you know, by the wing. Okay, so look at this in the sky. So are you trying to tell me that they've got, what is that? There's 4, they've got like 10 jets streaking across the sky in perfectly parallel lines, and that's normal. That's like is there an air show going on somewhere? I mean, does an air show, do airplanes in an air show fly the entire length of the county? You know, no, they just, you know, in formation. Do they fly in formation the entire length of the county? No, I don't think so. So, there's that. But see, that day that I was talking to my colleagues, and like I said, I spoke tongue-in-cheek. On my way home, coming over the bridge, heading west towards Pinellas County from Tampa. See, there's more over here. Check that out. The sky looked like a tic-tac-toe board, like literally. So they're flying in formation. Let's just say due east, and then theoretically now the wings stop making contrails, right? The wings stop making contrails, because if the wings had been making contrails for the entire duration of the flight, then you would see these streaks across the sky heading due west in formation, 3 or 4 airplanes on that particular day, not like 10 like today. And then you would see where they turned and did a, what would that be? I don't know. I mean, that would be like a 180 degree, no, 270 degree turn. Yeah, 180 would be the opposite direction, but then they go one more quarter turn, right? In order to make the tic-tac-toe. So you would see that, you would see the contrail for the duration of the flight, not trails in the sky heading due east, and then the contrails stop, and then they come around, like they do a 180, then they do another corner turn, so they can make the contrails go due east, east and west, and then north and south. I don't know which, you can't tell. Was this plane heading north? I mean, that's north-south. So was that plane heading north or was it heading south? I guess you can look for the thinnest end, and you could say, well, that's where the plane most recently was. In that case, then this plane was heading from south to north. But I didn't do all that analysis on that particular day. I'm just like, there were just trails heading east and west, and there were trails heading north and south. Like I said, like a tic-tac-toe board, right over Pinellas County. And now, so these, I'm going to look later, okay? And I'm going to see, are they going to do the crosshatch design on these trails? Now, here's the thing about contrails. I just thought of this. See, there's one. That's a fresh one. Look at that. You're trying to tell me that's contrails? That thing has 4, okay, 4 streams of 4 streams of fog coming off of its wings. I don't think that's contrails. Look, those trails up there, they're wider than the airplane itself. I mean, that's got to be some extraordinary atmospheric conditions to generate that much moisture, that much, what would it be, steam? I don't think it would be steam, right? It would be like a moisture cloud, moisture condensation. I mean, just moisture, I guess. Would you call it steam? It would be steam. It's not superheated air. I don't think. That doesn't sound right. So anyway, so here's what I was just thinking just now, right? I'm like, okay, so let's just entertain the idea that this is just moisture coming off of the wings. Okay, how is it that the moisture goes from, you know, from sitting from where I am, I have to just estimate the width of these chemtrails, contrails, whatever they are. So let's say that when the plane leaves, I'm sorry, when the trail leaves the wing of the plane, right, or comes off, I guess you would say, comes off the wing. Let's just say theoretically that the trail is 3 feet wide, okay? The trail of moisture, condensation, vapor, steam, whatever it is. Okay, well, how did those trails there? They look like they're about 200 feet wide. I mean, how does a vapor trail 3 feet wide expand to 200 feet, and then you can still see it? Now, I can understand a vapor trail expanding from 3 to 200 feet wide, but here's the thing: it's not going to create more vapor as it goes. So in other words, as it expands, it's going to become more and more dispersed, which means it's going to become more and more transparent, which means at some point it's going to be completely invisible, especially from like what, 10,000 feet? How high are those airplanes and far away from me, would you say? I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing. 10,000 feet maybe? I mean, what is 10,000? 2 miles? You know, I can see these vapor trails from 2 miles, and as time goes on, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they don't lose any visibility. Yeah, I know I sound like I'm excited, but and I guess I am. It's just kind of, I mean, look at that. That's amazing. What the heck is that? Is that vapor? How does vapor do that? How does it come off, expand, and stay basically equally visible for the entire duration of its expansion? You know, these things, I will be very interested to see. I'm going to be I might be on the other side of these things by the time I get to work, but I'm going to be very interested to see how long these things last. Because if they last all day, that's going to be super weird, right? If they last half the day, that's going to be super weird. I mean, a vapor trail lasting all the time? I don't know. All right, I got to go. Peace out, everybody.